Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is LEBONEM. I am a recent graduate, international student graduate on my OPT, still seeking for employment. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking about a very important topic, which is managing your money effectively, saving money, being wise with your money. A lot of people think, yes, studying abroad is very glamorous, is very nice, but it comes with a lot of financial pressure, and especially when the exchange rate is so high or so different from your own home country, and there is things to think about, to consider: tuition, groceries, transportation, being able to go out and do social activities, being able to do your hair. I mean, like, the list goes on, right? Being able to take trips, because if you're an international student, you're trying to explore as well, travel, do all these things. So managing your money will help you a lot. You'll be avoiding a lot of unnecessary stress. You'll be more in control of what you can and what you cannot do. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the first point I want to hit into is budgeting. Budgeting is the greatest thing that I've ever done for myself, not only as an international student, but as an au pair, and even prior to that. Being able to know where your money is going and what you're spending it on, and just being able to track it is so important, because it can also reveal the good and the bad spending habits that you have. You do not need to have a fancy app. You do not need to, I just literally write down on a piece of paper what I have, what am I spending it on, just look through my banking statement, making sure that, is there a pattern, is the money going to where it needs to go. Yeah, that's the first thing. Just being able to budget, just being able to write down what do you have, where's your money going, what kind of expenses do you have, can you cut something, can you not cut something, and then therefore just taking it from there. But the first thing is just being able to know how to budget, because not only you don't feel guilty when you purchase things, but you feel a lot more empowered and in control. So the second thing I want to talk about is taking advantage of campus resources. There's so many, I don't want to call them free events, because you're actually paying for them because you attend the institution, but there's so many events that you can go to where they have free food, they have free t-shirts, or they have free goodies, but really the main thing here is food. Sometimes I would not pack lunch because I would know there's always something going on, but I used to work on campus, so I knew when the events were happening and what they would be serving. So they'd be serving spaghetti, or they'd be serving a slice of pizza, or whatever the case might be. But taking advantage of those campus resources, going to your school's library, printing things out of there, even though printing stuff still costs a little bit of money, like $1 or $2, depending on how many pages you're printing, but at least you don't have to buy your own printer, you don't have to buy your own paper and your own cartridge and your own ink and all of those things. So taking advantage of what is already there. Gym memberships, you don't have to pay for a gym membership, because I'm pretty sure every university or school has a gym. They have a wellness center. It's not free because you are paying for it through your tuition, but essentially it's free. It's a resource that's there. Go ahead and go use it. Why are you trying to go to Planet Fitness and pay more money? And I get it, if you are a fitness enthusiast and you need different types of machines and whatever, go ahead. But if you are basic just like me and you just need to get your heart rate up here and there, a basic gym will do, which is at your university. And also swimming. A lot of universities have an auditorium. Take advantage of that. Go swim. There's tennis courts where they have free lessons. Go to those things. This is your opportunity to mingle in a free way. So attend those things. And again, go to the events that they have. There's always free food. That means your lunch or your dinner is taken care of. And sometimes they order, so they don't want to throw food away. So just take a kaftin, take a lunchbox, and go pack you a nice dinner. And then the third thing I want to talk about is textbooks and supplies. Now, I don't think this is super necessary. This is obviously going to depend on who you are, what's your major, what is required for that specific major. But for me in particular, I ended up just going digital. I got an iPad And then I tried to, for most of the time, our school provided us online textbooks. Girl. Essentially, textbooks and supplies, it's going to depend. Digital is the way to go because you don't have to carry all of those in your bag. But if you do need a physical textbook, there's always used textbooks from all over. Go on Amazon, go to your school's library, see if they have that particular textbook on their shelf. But overall, there's ways to find used items that are not expensive, so take advantage of what is provided. Another way to save money is by working, is by making sure that you have income. Obviously, as an international student, we are restricted as to how many hours and where we can work. We are allowed to work on campus for 20 hours a week. I luckily got a job the moment I transferred to UIW, so I've had a job for my entire time there, which was very lucky and very blessed. But try to find jobs. There's always going to be jobs on campus. They're looking for someone. If you do not have the experience, start volunteering, start building up those skills. That way you can eventually find a job that pays you on campus. And then scholarships, of course. See if there's any internal scholarships. Apply to scholarships. See if, there's always scholarships anywhere, somewhere. See if scholarships is a way to go. The next thing I want to bring up is transportation. I did not have a car, and I still do not have a car. And how I got to campus, because I live off of campus, I use the bus. And being a student, I got to use the bus for free, or I got free access to the bus, the city bus. So I use the bus every single day. I did not have to pay for transportation unless I had to go somewhere with that's not within the city limits. Then I would use Uber or Lyft. But for the most part, I did not pressure myself into purchasing a car, and I'm very, very glad I did that, because girl, it's expensive having a car. You need to worry about petrol/gas. You need to worry about maintaining your car and doing all these things. So do not get a car. But if you need a car, get a car and figure out how you're going to take care of that car and yourself. But for the most part, you having a student card, find out what discounts, things you can get for free, because they are out there and I took advantage of them. Which leads me into my next point, is student discounts. For 4 years or for however long you are a student, you're gonna have a student email. And a lot of apps like Amazon, there's something called Student Beans. If you have an EDU at the end of your email, you're a student. When you go out to local restaurants, ask them, do you have a student discount? A lot of museums do have student discounts. A lot of places just have student discounts. So make sure you have your ID with you at all times so you can show it to them as proof. And it's another way of being able to get things a lot cheaper than normal. I know that Apple Music has student membership, YouTube has student stuff, Amazon, New Balance, Nike, girl, the list goes on. But take advantage of your student discounts, because they are there for a reason, for you to take advantage of them. And I am going to take advantage of my student discount until I no longer have that email. So yes. And shopping, the student discount shopping, try to not shop too much. And it's part of the reason why I got rid of social media, because it promoted this notion of consumerism. Buying things all the time, unnecessary things. To each their own. I'm not going to get into detail, but be careful of what you are looking at, what you're consuming, because a lot of the times you do not need those things. And do not trick your brain into thinking that you need, whatever it is that it is, because you don't need it. You're a student. Save your money for things that are a lot more important. And if you can, thrift. For me personally, thrifting is a very overwhelming process. I do not enjoy thrifting. I think for me to be able to find a dress, even, I have to be in the thrift store for hours and hours on end, and it's just not something that I have in me. But I don't buy a lot of clothes. I do buy clothes when I need them, at least for the most part right now. Yeah, make sure your shopping is to a minimum. and bo Starbucks, bo eating out, bo all those things. Make sure that you're keeping it controlled. I used to love going to Starbucks, loved it, but I got a coffee machine because it was getting too expensive. And I still go to coffee shops here and there, but for the most part I have my coffee machine and I make my coffee at home. For the most part, I used to love brunch. Oh my gosh, brunch was my thing. But now I enjoy making some of my meals at home. Here and there I will go out, but for the most part I am cutting costs where I can. And we're obviously gonna all have personal expenses such as, I mean, I'm a black girl. I need to be doing my hair almost every other month. So that's where I will splurge and a lot of my money will go to my hair. I don't do my nails. I just have my regular nails. One, I do not like it. And two, I just don't have the money to be paying $90 a month to do my nails. So there are gonna be things here and there where I am splurging, and then there are things where I am not going to be even trying to spend my money on. So again, it's all dependent on your own specific lifestyle and what you enjoy and what you value and all of those things. But being able to save and know where your money goes is very important. I think me being able to graduate debt-free played a part into that, because I made sure that I did not want to, I don't want to take out a loan. I have never taken out a loan in my life. I don't even know what that looks like. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to take out a loan. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm not gonna, that's just not something I want to do. We're gonna talk about credit cards in another video, but I wanted to talk about credit cards and how having a credit card in the US is very important, because it allows you the opportunity to be able to rent an apartment or lease an apartment, to be able to get a car if necessary. Having a credit score, as they call it, you build that through having credit cards. And at first I did not want to have a credit card because so many people are in debt. They think that the money on the credit card is their money, but it's not your money, babes. It's borrowed money. But I have a credit card. I use it, but then after I use it, I immediately pay it off. That way I'm growing my credit score. My credit score is perfect, honey. It's immaculate. But I said all that to say that for you to get to a point where you use credit cards, and if you do get a loan, being able to pay it back and stuff like that, you need to be able to manage your money effectively. And the last thing that I will say is that being able to save, budget, live well, live below your means. You don't have to compete with the next person just because. There's so many students at my university that drove luxury cars, G-Wagon. I'm like, girl, you're 20, you're driving a G-Wagon. We love that for you. But people have cars. University is going to teach you a lot about how so many people have been awarded so many blessings, and so many people are born with silver spoons in their mouth, and the list goes on. But one thing I want to stress is, do not compare yourself to these people. We all come from different journeys, and we're placed into this university, and you are gonna see people rocking up with, I don't know what's the name of that bag, but it's like a $3,000 bag. It's checkered. Is it Goyard bag? Goyard bag. There's people rocking up with Goyard bag. I'm not even sure I'm saying it right, but I'm like, why are you 20 and you are rocking a $3,000 bag? Like, 3,000 is the amount of my tuition payment. What do you mean? But anyways, I said all that to say that know who you are, know where you come from. Don't try to compete with people, because at the end of the day, you do not know where people got their money from. You do not know how they're maintaining that lifestyle. Yay, don't be jealous of something you don't know of. Yeah, so essentially avoid comparison. Do not compare yourself to others. My last point is learn how to say no to expensive outings, dinners, excursions, whatever. Yeah, just if you need to say no, just say no. So if you have made it to this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.
1, 2, 3.